doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Brothers Breaking Bread podcast in the house. Hey!
We'll have a little pop-up. Have everybody over. It'll be good.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's not just talk about it.
This is a beautiful thing, man. Just all this blackness, and we all just getting together, we playing dominoes, we eating, we drinking.
And, you know, food is always just the extra, man.
They deprive these people of their basic human rights. You know, and we call ourselves Americans. We're supposed to be above all this.
They'll fake the crisis. They'll make it seem way out of proportion.
We brothers, we breaking bread.
How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
Trying to hold it all together, man. Life is moving fast right now,
Man, so it's good to hear everybody come through.
I love that, man. I love it a lot. More than I could say to you guys.
We went out in the street today. We found people who said they were fans of Donald Trump. We asked them how they felt about some stuff that Trump has done, except none of it was stuff Trump has done. All of the events we described were about Richard Nixon in this Watergate edition of Lie Witness News.
You heard the news that Trump was accused of breaking into the DNC's office and stealing sensitive documents. Do you think that should be an impeachable offense?
No.
Why not?
I like Trump. I don't listen to the news, so.
During the campaign, Trump sent a team to break into the DNC's headquarters and steal sensitive documents. Is that an impeachable offense?
I don't believe that.
You don't believe that it's an impeachable offense?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't.
Stealing documents from the DNC. It's okay?
Yep.
Do you think the president should have to turn over all the conversations he's been secretly recording in the Oval Office?
No, because he has a legitimate excuse. He's got diplomatic immunity for those things.
Woodward and Bernstein from the Washington Post wrote an article that's pretty damning to the president and all his men. Is that just the Washington Post being haters again?
Well, I mean, it could be, because from my experience, the newspaper does lie and fabricate things, and it's a lot of fake news nowadays, so it's hard to, believe everything that comes out of the newspapers.
Do you think Trump will ever find out the name of the whistleblower known as Deep Throat?
Yeah, it'll come out. It'll come out later, probably years from now.
And why do you think that people are calling the whistleblower by the name Deep Throat?
Well, I have an opinion about it. I have an opinion about it, but I don't want to speculate.
Deep Throat, is that the name?
Of the whistleblower, yeah. I mean, it's like the code name, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's something to do sexual. I don't know. Like Deep Throat, that sounds sexual to me.
Do you think his nickname, Tricky Don Trump, is justified?
Tricky Don Trump. Well, he's a businessman. That would probably be a pretty good name for a very good businessman.
What do you think of Trump's bold choice to throw a double peace sign after speaking to the press corps?
He likes to express himself. He's unique, so...
Gangster?
Yeah, he's a gangster. Kept it 100.
Do you think everything that's going on right now with all the impeachment stuff is just to distract from the fighting that's still going on in Vietnam?
Yes, I do.
And do you think Trump's war in Vietnam is justified?
Yeah.
How come?
I just think it is. I mean, like I said, I like the guy. No one's going to convince me otherwise.
Do you think if Trump resigns, he'll be pardoned by Vice President Gerald Ford?
I don't know what Gerald Ford's going to do, because, if there's evidence, against him, that's probably going to be bad.
Do you think there's any precedent for everything that's going on?
Gosh, I mean, probably not. It's sad that it's going to probably be in the history books for the kids to read about in years to come.
So it's like nothing we've seen before.
I definitely would agree with that.
I don't know what Gerald Ford gonna do either.
Nigga, he been dead since like 2005, 2006, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I don't know. He been dead for quite some time, nigga. I don't know. I don't know what Gerald Ford gonna do. Really, probably lying his tomb about this shit.
Right?
Shit.
Oh, shit.
Nigga. Hey, y'all, welcome back. Triple B Brothers Breaking Bread podcast in the house. 10 meters. Half of the Brothers Doom Joe Jeff is here. What's going on, fellas?
What's up? What's up?
What up? What up?
I hate
that stupid ass shit.
I hate this version of the Matrix, dog. The Matrix is broken, dog. It truly is, dog. They didn't stop force feeding us babies, or I guess the dead people they pump into us. Niggas is. I don't get it. He said Gerald Ford, dog.
No, what fucked me up was Vietnam.
Well, hold on, though. Yeah, no, and that lady was like older. She was an older woman. She should know better, nigga. As always, the videos will be in the comment section of the show. Post, when we post it. I want you to watch, and it's not like they're asking a bunch of like teenagers, young Republicans. There are some people on there that should fucking know better, bro. Because of that, in general, we should know better because we should be having American history classes that teach us these things. But of course, we know how that goes. We have a teacher.
Right. Hold up, nigga. Don't be blaming the teachers. Hold up.
Hold on.
Here you go.
No,
Here you go.
You know there are some schools where they slacking. I ain't saying.
Hold up, nigga. Hold up, nigga. Hold on. Hold on, nigga. You can't ask me.
Oh my God.
Let's get ready to rumble.
As they say, make a sculpture out of this wet ass clay, nigga. This crumbling ass clay, nigga.
Hey, not all.
I gotta have some shit to work with now.
That
is true.
I'm just saying, not all teachers can be Joe Jeff, bro. I feel you. I'm just saying. You know what? Okay. You're right. There has to be some personal accountability. You are correct. But the fact that there were people there who were older than all of us on this show, and one of them, the woman said Vietnam was a cover for what's going on. What?
Yeah. That's inexcusable, actually.
It's inexcusable, bro.
Damn it. Vietnam ended when I was born.
Oh boy confused diplomatic immunity with executive privilege.
Nah, he said he can still. He got that diplomatic immunity.
Laughed. I get that one. That could be confused.
Or he could be a
bullshit.
Or he could be a Dipset fan. One of the two.
Could be diplomatic immunity. Nigga, Dipset.
Yeah, he could be. I'm just saying. He might not just talk about Capone Noriega or motherfucking whoever, nigga. I don't know what's happening.
All I know is Joel's dip Santana set.
Yeah, dog.
That's all I know.
But these are the people who we. You know what? No, I ain't gonna say that. That's problematic. I ain't gonna say that. I'm about to say bring back the test. Niggas gotta take a test so they can vote. But then so many slaves.
Here we go.
It literally cuts out this bitch.
Yeah, you about to
just repeal the 24th Amendment, nigga.
Yes, that's basically what you're gonna do.
It's just one question, nigga. Is Gerald Ford alive? Yes or no? If you answer that wrong, you can't vote. That day, nigga.
Motherfuckers, you will see at least 90% of them people, them Trump supporters, will say yes, he's still alive.
Go ahead, Joe.
My bad. Here's the other thing about this. We laughing like because motherfuckers thought the facts of the case from the Watergate scandal were not impeachable. It was motherfuckers. He didn't get impeached for it.
Yeah.
No.
And there were motherfuckers back then who probably felt the same way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Now the deep throat shit.
I mean, I don't want there to be a test, dog, but I think there should. Two questions. Is Gerald Ford alive? And should we pull out of Vietnam right now? If you answer any of those questions incorrectly, nigga, you don't get to vote that day.
And his deep throat on Pornhub.
It's deep throat. I mean, but technically it might be.
It is.
That might be. That is. I mean, wait a minute. Someone told me there's a category on Pornhub.
Hey, yo. Secondhand knowledge, I'm sure. Secondhand.
After the fact.
Yeah.
I plead the fifth. Anyway, let's go around the horn. What's going on this week? Check in Well, tell me, what's going on, man? How you living?
Oh man, I'm living good, living well. Just ahead of time, heads up, guys. Next week I will not be on. Okay. I will not be on.
What's going on? You getting?
Huh?
Where you going? You going back to? Where you going? What's going on?
I'm going to Colorado.
You're gonna be out here giving thanks,
giving
thanks in Colorado.
Making gravy, doing that stuffing.
Yep, making a little gravy, a little chicken gravy.
You call it chicken gravy? What's your call it?
Well, I mean, it's that color.
Oh, never.
Oh wow.
Never again.
Oh wow.
Never again. I'm never
we are engaged in the details, aren't we?
Never gonna eat gravy again, dog.
I'm sorry. Okay. But no, I'm going to Colorado, visit some friends and everything like that. And
I just want to say, if it's yellow, dog, you might want to get some hydration. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's not. But anyway,
somebody rockin' number.
Only you. I need some good loving rainbow. Sorry.
That may be I plead the fifth. Anyway, so I won't be on. I'll be visiting. I'll be making a visit to my favorite place. One of my favorite places to go.
What about deposits? Are you making deposits?
Could be. Anyway, so
okay. Well, safe travel.
Yeah, Austin is pretty good, man. People are still chill out here. I haven't gotten to any incidents yet. The job is pretty crazy over here, man. I mean, this is the end of the year, and this is where in the medical world, the end of the year is like everyone has to get their procedures done before their new insurance kicks in.
Yep.
So we have a big influx of heart patients coming in, getting procedures done. We're doing 20 to 25 cases a day.
What's
so that's between 5 doctors now. Between 5 doctors, and we have teams. So
okay.
We have several teams, so I mean that's a little bit different than what's going on in Kansas City. Y'all working to death. We working almost there to death. So, everything is still chill out here.
But safe travels to you. Safe travels to you. Have fun.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Partake. What's up, Joe Jeff?
What's happening?
Chilling, man. How's your week? How are you?
Oh, man.
How's life?
Man, go to work and come home. You know what I'm saying? All that.
Mm-hmm.
Did have a little break from routine. Got to go on a field trip.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you go?
And I want Greg Center. There was a business kind of conference going on for the youth.
Oh. Ooh.
And so I was blessed to be a chaperone for that, which afforded me an opportunity to do something I want to talk about on Facebook. Earlier this week, there was a pay it forward to somebody I recognize as a pillar of this community.
Okay.
Man by the name of Calvin Wainwright.
He's an OG, bro.
Yeah, Calvin Wainwright is somebody who's been, working with people's kids. I mean, I remember when I was in high school, he was out here, coaching at local community centers and that type of thing, and getting teams together for AU, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's had two sons play D1 ball.
Yep.
One at Baylor, one at K-State. And so, he's a good man. He's a man of faith. He walks the walk, he talks the talk. And so basically what happened is he was working at Melcher Elementary with the after school program, and somebody decided to pay him for the pay it forward situation that they do. So he was kind of set up. He thought he was going to be, kind of covering for another teacher who the news station was there to cover. And what they did is they brought that teacher up and they said, "Nope, we're here for Calvin Wainwright." And so he was caught off guard. They brought him up, and to a bunch of applause and fanfare, which is awesome situation, man. Get well deserved. Gave the man $400.
Wow.
And so I sent him a text, just to, I don't text him often. He didn't know exactly who the text was from, but I sent him a text saying, "Hey, man, well deserved, I appreciate you, all that type of thing." Just so happened, I think that was on Monday. Just so happened he was at the Greg Center when I went down there on Tuesday. And so I got to, immediately after talk to him about that face-to-face. And, what he said is he got that $400. As soon as he got home, his wife put his hands out. So that $4 going to our vacation. We're going to Hawaii or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
right on.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it couldn't happen to a better dude, man. I think I don't know how many times I got retweeted, but I think, if you live in Kansas City and you know anything about basketball, you know what I'm saying? Calvin Wainwright.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, awesome dude, man. I just wanted to give a salute and a shout out to that fine gentleman. He's an inspiration.
Yeah, he is a good dude. Cause, I remember, you look back, you don't know the significance of some of these people who you come in contact with. I remember, the AAU circuits and stuff when I was playing. And, people be saying his name and things like that. And just, when you meet him, he's just really good. He's a good person, man. He's a really good dude.
Oh, man. Outstanding guy, man. I always feel blessed every time I have a chance to talk to him.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Salute, man. Salute. Yeah. Well, that's good. Oh yeah, man. Thank y'all. Thank you, brothers, for coming.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
We had
no doubt
the first Brothers Breaking Bread get together. We're gonna try to keep that going. Just looking back, when I was growing up, my mom and dad would always have small get-togethers. Nothing to do with holidays or anything of that nature, but just getting together with friends and family. Because I think sometimes we're only doing it for the holidays, or when there's a death, or there's just a celebration, like when we got together for James when he celebrated his graduation. And ain't nothing wrong with that, but I think sometimes we just need adult time to be with people that you really care about and fuck with, and and break bread as we do here on this show every week.
That's right.
So I definitely appreciate you coming up from down south there, 10 meters, and definitely appreciate you, Joe, giving up one of your free nights to come through and beat me in some spades. That was cool. I may have been,
it was my pleasure,
be a little
though,
intoxicated,
man,
but hey. Yeah, whatever. But
So hey. So whose fault was it y'all got said?
I don't know. I'm about to go back and review the tape. But I'm gonna say, I'll say me for the greater good of the household.
For the Weebay household.
I will carry for the Weebay household. I would carry the weight.
Okay.
I would just say I was a little. In hindsight, I was a little libated. But hey, did y'all not enjoy the greatness of my side piece though? Probably one of the greatest movies ever made.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I was like, damn.
I thought we were still talking about the 9 clubs walking. That's what I thought we were talking about.
Oh damn,
Okay.
them clubs walking. Hey, bro, I was like, damn, what just happened? I said, I know I'm drunk, but I'm not seeing this.
Nigga, y'all pushed me the book. I threw a 9 clubs out there. Why the fuck y'all pushing me this book?
I don't know.
That bitch walked.
I don't know what.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
you're not talking about that side piece. You talking about the movie.
That horrible movie that me and Lavender have seen 4 times.
So there was no side piece run up in the apartment, in the house that I didn't know about.
No, none of that here. No sir.
Shit.
If you're listening to our voices, I need you to just take 2 hours out of your day and watch the greatness known as My Side Piece. It has Mystical as a police officer in it. That's all you need to know. Yes, a convicted rapist plays a police officer in the movie.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. Watch it. Enjoy it. It also is probably shot on, I'm going to say maybe an iPhone 5 or 4 maybe.
I think of that. Fuck that. I think a flip phone, dog.
Flip phone. It might have been shot on the first Razor that had that little camera on it. You get those little 15-second clips.
Yeah.
It might have been shot on that. Y'all need to enjoy that.
Oh, man.
I just want to know why fucking Mystical was sweating in everything, nigga.
Nah, it was so hot. Why was Mystical sweating? And then why did my man... I'm still tripping off the scene when they went down to get away with his side piece.
Right.
He never took his Jordans off.
Ever.
He had the Jordans on when she came through the room. He did take them off to walk on the beach, but he put them back on for the little bedroom scene before he.
Nigga, how the fuck this nigga walk down the beach in them socks?
In them damn socks. That's what I was going, man.
Slavery, nigga. Slavery.
He walked down the beach in them fucking socks and then sat down on the fucking chair. Them socks was clean as shit.
Clean.
I'm clean, dog.
Slavery.
How the socks clean after he just walked down the beach in them socks, man?
Slavery.
Not a grain of sand on that bitch, man.
Dog, and then on top of that, dog, I mean the Avatar like special effects. Dog,
nigga, the fucking dragon fire.
Hey, when that plant blew up, hey,
yeah, man.
Straight from Game of Thrones, bro. Straight from Game of Thrones.
Oh, that shit was awesome. I still want to know what the fuck city they was police officers for. That nigga said that shit said police department. That's all that shit said on the badge, nigga.
Fucking wherever Jim Jones gave them niggas grape drink, that's where they was police officers at, nigga.
Yeah.
Guyana, nigga, wherever the fuck,
Guyana.
Nigga, they just like they fucking roving police department, nigga. Where they had they police, nigga.
That was I'm just glad that y'all watched that, man. Y'all watched that.
Oh man, we enjoyed the night, man.
It was a good time.
It was a very good night.
Like
man.
I said, we gotta do it again, and I'm definitely I have secured some gear where I think we will be able to do a live podcast at the house with all of us in one room. So I got tinker with it a little bit. But outside of that, man, life's good. Kind of just the same as Anthony. Tim is in the same field. So, yeah, the cases are starting to pile up, but we got the same amount of people. Yeah, so that's where we have it. So basically what we did at my gig is we said we're going to open up this world-renowned restaurant. We're going to have this world-renowned menu, but we're not going to hire any chefs. That's the equivalent of what we've done there.
Oh, fuck that.
We have tripled the amount of labs that we have, but we have done nothing to the working staff that we have.
Are y'all labs open yet?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We opened the 2 new labs. What was that? Last week? No, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
So we kind of had like a soft opening almost. So it's kind of funny because we had 2 new labs, but we just did Watchmen's, which we talked about just the small device implants. We didn't do any elaborate cases, but I don't want to tell people with that. But yeah, but we've been doing complex ablations in the 2 labs.
Okay.
So it's gonna get worse. Yep. Anyway, we talked about some impeachment, so it kind of segue into what's going on in the real world. And like you talked about, Joe, how it's like we laughing about people's ignorance, but when you kind of compare it to what's happening now, there are Americans now who actually, they kind of said it there, who actually believe that there's no wrongdoing going on, and this is all just a puppet show.
Right.
Yeah, we got some spin artists out there, man. One Jim Jordan, is that his name? Jim Jordan, Jim Jeffries, whatever, the wrestling coach. I don't know.
Jim Jordan, yeah, that's the one that's always angry.
Right. Yeah.
Always stupid.
And then you got Devin Nunes.
Yeah. And you got old wooden tooth
Giuliani, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He ain't got no dental plan.
That nigga was like state's attorney, wasn't he? And mayor, and
he was the mayor. He was the
mayor of New York. Yeah. State's attorney, yeah. And no dental plan.
No dental plan.
I mean, man, I don't know what he's doing, man. I don't know what he's doing.
I mean,
he worked for Trump. You know, Trump ain't giving out no fucking dental.
Hell no.
No, Trump nigga, he still got them fucking slum houses, man. He ain't trying to give no extra shit.
No.
So basically, you got this shit show going on, and you have people who, like with David Nunes, whatever the fuck, he was asked before, these impeachments, started taking place. The public impeachments, as far as like, hey, you need to step down, because it's kind of like the Democrats already knew or had some dirt on him and was trying to get him a way out, but him being like all these other Republicans who have been so emboldened by Trump.
Did the Democrats know?
I don't know. I thought they did, because I believe he was asked to before
recuse
it started.
himself?
Yeah, like recuse yourself. You're too close to this. So
when was he asked? When was he asked this shit?
Hold on.
All I know is this: Devin Nunes, up until this point, most notable is suing a fictional cow. I don't remember where fucking cow came from. I knew this cow got more Twitter followers than Devin Nunes.
He sued a fictitious cow, though.
Nigga, he sued that fucking cow, bro.
Did he win?
I'm not sure about that. I don't think I put it this way. I know the fucking cow tweeted nigga 2 times yesterday. I know that. I know that.
Oh, man.
I don't know how the case went down. I know the fucking cow tweeted twice yesterday about this bullshit.
Oh, man.
What I do know is Giuliani got an associate that's basically saying he's willing to come in front of Congress, according to CNN and Jake Tapper and all those folks.
Right.
And basically out Congressman Nunes. Congressman Nunes is the ranking Republican on the Judicial Committee,
right?
Who's conducting this hearing, and so Nunes has been thick in the middle of the Republican arguments.
Right.
It comes to be known that he has skin in this game, and so there's a question about whether he should even be there. Right. Because he's knee deep in the Ukrainian scandal himself. How do you ask questions about impropriety when you're involved in being
yeah.
So.
Oh man.
Because he was in Ukraine asking questions about Joe Biden, just like the people he's talking to right now. So that's Devin Nunes for y'all people. Have faith in the system.
Have faith in the system. Well, maybe I'm I misread here. Well, I know he recused himself from the House Russia investigation in 2018. And I guess someone said, "Hey, you probably still need to stay away from this because, as you pointed out, your name is showing up on some of these dossiers.
On right of shit.
These dossiers."
Hey, yo, Dev, bruh.
Nunes was directly involved in the push for Biden-Ukraine investigation. Says led upon his associate Giuliani. Says he helped arrange meetings between Nunes and the Ukrainians.
Hey, bruh. Hey, Dev, you might want to stay away from this, man. Because your name is showing up on all these little dossiers, man.
So Nunes has argued the impeachment inquiry is a partisan attack on the president. He tried to derail the proceedings by introducing disproved conspiracy theory. That's something else they've been trying to do. Worked to out an anonymous whistleblower, which still blows my mind. There are specific laws and policies and regulations throughout the DOD, the federal government that frown on this. You know, the Whistleblower Act is a thing. Whose complaint launched the inquiry and repeatedly referred to the inquiry as a drug deal. During Thursday's hearings, at which former National Security Council official Fiona Hill and State Department official David Holmes testified, Nunes himself briefly became the subject of proceedings due to the Daily Beast article, which Democratic Representative Eric Swalwell, I don't know, I probably just stepped all over that, read into record. Yeah, they just, and here we can just kind of, we'll play a little bit of this. Ooh.
And Dr. Hill, you cautioned us on the dangers of members of this committee, perhaps peddling any Ukrainian conspiracy theories that could benefit Russia. And I want to ask you if you have heard the name Lev Parnas of Ukraine, someone in this investigation who was influencing President Trump and Rudy Giuliani about some of the debunked conspiracy theories you referenced earlier?
I have heard his name, yes.
Are you aware that Mr. Parnas was indicted on October 10 for making foreign contributions to Republicans in U.S. elections?
I am aware of those reports, yes.
Are you aware of yesterday's Daily Beast story reporting the indicted Ukrainian Lev Parnas has been working with ranking member Devin Nunes on Mr. Nunes's overseas investigations?
I am not aware of that.
Mr. Chairman, I asked unanimous consent to put into the record the Daily Beast story. Lev Parnas helped Rep. Devin Nunes's investigations from yesterday. First two paragraphs reading, Lev Parnas, an indicted associate of Rudy Giuliani, helped arrange meetings and calls in Europe for Rep. Devin Nunes in 2018, Parnas' lawyer, Ed McMahon, told the Daily Beast. Nunes aide Derek Harvey participated in the meetings, the lawyer said, which were arranged to help Nunes' investigative work. McMahon didn't specify what those investigations entailed.
Without objection.
Mr. Chairman, you have been falsely accused throughout these proceedings by the ranking member as being a quote-unquote fact witness. Now, if this story is correct, the ranking member may have actually been projecting. And in fact, he may be the fact witness if he is working with indicted individuals around our investigation. But I want to go to what...
Nigga, that face right there.
Man, that nigga look like he about to get sent to the office.
Nigga.
Yeah.
Hey, you seen them on Twitter though? They've been playing that motherfucking Curb Your Enthusiasm. Boom, boom, boom. Nigga, it's so good. It's so like how we talked about that. Well, we kind of. One of the other headlines where he at first reclused himself back in 2018, that shit's all coming back. That Daily Beast story centers around what was happening in 2018.
Well, no. The shit that he was involved with happened in
was it 16?
December. No, okay, wait, no, it was 18 because this is 19. Yeah. It was December of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like 11 months ago.
Yeah, that's when they were out there trying to fish for motherfucking dirt. And had these and was paying these Ukrainians for the dirt.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, allegedly.
Alleged. It has been alleged.
Allegedly. But these are the people who run our government. But motherfuckers still won't get out and vote, right?
Mm-hmm. This is what, for you motherfuckers that sat at home and play with your dicks during the election.
No, not dicks.
This is what we got.
Not just dicks. There were clitorises that were played with also. There were men and women sat at home. Let's get it right.
Yes. Well, they were playing with dicks too. They were playing with their men's dicks during the election. This is what you got.
What if they don't have men?
I mean, well.
Anyway, we get off.
And clitorises too. Okay.
Yeah, we getting out. But these are the people who people blindly elect, and then like this whole thing of like fake news, all this other shit. When Fox and whoever the hell else is pumping that Obama's a Muslim, wasn't no fake news then.
No, none.
That was real news.
We believe it then.
Right.
But then you got these foot shuffling, oxygen thieving motherfuckers on when Jimmy Kimmel asked them about deep throat in Vietnam. Oh no. The world we live in is just it's insane. But
yeah.
Whatever. Man, I mean, I don't know what's gonna come of all this. Oh yeah, and did y'all see the pictures of your boy? Somebody.
Sondland. You talking about Ambassador Sondland?
Well, no, I was talking about they've been said the occupant. Somebody on Twitter calling him Fat Nixon.
That's funny.
I was like, damn. I said, damn, that's good. Shit.
Damn.
I gotta start using.
The occupant, Fat Nixon.
Fat Nixon.
Nah, hold on. The picture of Ambassador Sondland looking to the camera like, what's his name from the point guard, the rapping point guard. David Lillard. Yeah. The camera like David Lillard. Nigga, he like, nigga, I just dropped this hot fire on that ass.
Hot fire SoundCloud. You can get it on all your SoundCloud apps, nigga. You can find us on wherever. Well, no. So what was like a couple of days ago when he was out there on the White House line with them handwritten notes?
Nigga, he had to, He had to because Stalin dropped that diss track, nigga.
But did you see the picture? No, I thought it was the Onion. I thought someone was trolling me. Did you see the handwritten notes?
Nah, nigga, in Sharpie, nigga, that's what he do. Nigga, that's how we know. That's how we know.
Sharpie.
That's how we know the fucking hurricane is supposed to hit Alabama, nigga.
Have you seen him, Anthony?
Nigga.
Did you see him?
No, I didn't see it.
Y'all can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Nigga, he had this fucking nigga. That's the same Sharpie where Alabama grew up into the fucking coast of that fucking hurricane, nigga.
This nigga, I didn't know that Grant was writing this nigga's notes, nigga.
Grant wrote it.
And for y'all, Grant is my 4-year-old son. Bro, you see that shit, Anthony?
I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo.
Hey, tell me this nigga. When I first saw this nigga, I thought it was the Onion, and they had motherfucking got the Photoshop on that nigga, dog.
If I look, and even what he, so I think what he did is he took something from Sondland's testimony that he thought exonerated him.
Right.
But the fucking timeline of that shit was like the day after the story broke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he said you said that shit after you called him back after the fucking story had already broke. Nigga, that shit doesn't exonerate you. That means that's cover up right there.
Exactly. Cover up, right. And the minor details, though. You the president of the United States, dog. Your hands shouldn't look like this, dog. What's all this nigga's fingers?
They really tiny. Look at how small they are.
Yeah, I'm small as hell.
Nigga chewing on his nails, man. Whatever. But the writing, dog. What is this? What is this buffoonery, nigga?
Have you ever seen a nigga's fucking scribbled ass signature?
Fucking once a weekend, every month.
Yeah. Right, no doubt. Yeah. That shit look like
on your check.
Don't it look like one of y'all heart monitors at work, nigga?
Yeah, it does.
That shit look like
that. Look like VTAC, dog.
Yeah, that shit look like ooh. Let me. You might want to get your family here to hug you.
This shit look like VTAC, dog. It's signature.
But anyway, this is but this is still this is the president that America deserved. Y'all didn't love Barack.
So didn't vote. Yeah.
So fuck y'all.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And you know what? And while we on it, speaking of outcomes and not voting, Ruth Bader, she back. What is that? Yeah, she back in the hospital. Chills and fevers. And you might say, why is this important, Roger? Because she is a Supreme Court justice. And who gets to fucking pick a Supreme Court justice, and who has some fucking Republicans and some spineless Democrats who will not stand up against them, who's probably going to push, damn it, I'm going in and out, another justice if something should happen to her.
Right.
Yeah, nigga, we got Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
Kavanaugh and what the other one from Colorado? I can't think of his name.
I don't know. Somebody racist. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey Ruth, I need you to
get.
Hold on.
Yeah, hang in there.
Hold on, baby.
Hang in there.
Hold on, baby. I need you to hold on.
Yes, please hold on.
Hey, because
Sotomayor cannot do it by herself.
No,
somebody got to get her some chicken soup, nigga.
Chicken soup, some ginger ale,
something.
She need that. She need that. That middle school get well packed, dog. She need that ginger ale.
Hell yeah.
Chicken noodle soup, and the price is right. Should be good to go, nigga. Should be good to go, dog. Come on, you know good well. You stay. You be on that couch, nigga. Come on now. Come on.
Hell yeah.
She need that shit you drop in the cup, that vitamin C.
Yeah, she need that. She need that.
Energy.
Like that's what it was. Yeah, energy.
Then some of that nighttime Alka-Seltzer, dog, before she go to bed.
It's some fucking Vicks Vapor Rub, nigga.
Just Get a tub of Vicks Vapor Rub or a tub of Robitussin and just put her in it, nigga. Just a vat. Put her in a vat of Robitussin. She'll be good to go, bro.
A vat of Tussin, man. Shit.
Hey, Ruth, I'm serious. Hey, bitch, don't you die.
Nope. We're in trouble. If you die, we're in trouble.
Hey, why I turn to Ike Turner right there? That's bad.
That is really bad.
That's bad, but I mean it with all my heart. Don't you die.
I'm going to lean into that bitch, too.
I'm going to lean into that bitch. Hey.
Ike Turner?
Yeah, when he was Tina, when she was fucked up and sick and she had them babies.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Rue. Damn, shit, John Hopkins, dog. That's not good. It's not good to be 86 and you just got... That's when you got fever and chills at 86. That's never good.
Nope. Usually means they're on their way out.
She just got done dealing with the pancreatic cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Be strong, Ruth.
I gotta start reading this. I'm just getting sad. I'm just getting mad at niggas that don't vote. Listen to Kanye West mixtapes.
It's all their fault because you could have had a liberal president putting liberal courts out there, holding on to liberal ideas, holding on to civil rights movement.
Civil rights movement. Exactly.
Ask Byron Allen.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Now we all about to be slaves wearing fucking Kanye West post-apocalypse gear, and then guess we pick cotton. So that's about that.
Yep.
I hate people. I hate all y'all niggas. Not these niggas on this show, but the niggas that didn't vote.
Get out and vote.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna move on. God damn, this is
suspended than white girls.
Yeah, you got suspended them white girls. What?
I like that. That's a good out of context editing. Suspending them white girls. I guess we just keep moving on with the uplifting meme of the show. Fuckboy president. A Supreme Court justice who may die and then just flip the court all the fucking way to very conservative and no one gets to have any rights or liberties.
No.
And we can talk about how little black girls get abused at school.
Extreme punishment of black girls in schools is more common than you may think. According to a 2017 study by the National Women's Law Center, black girls are more than 5 times more likely to be suspended than white girls and are 6 times more likely to be expelled.
Me getting into big trouble.
13-year-old Samaya Dillard and her family are not surprised by those numbers. Samaya's story was featured in a new documentary called Push Out, the criminalization of black girls in schools.
In your own words, what happened in the 2nd grade?
I was basically bullied or felt bullied by my teacher.
She said in 2nd grade, an argument with another student led to her teacher dragging Samaya outside.
She then grabbed my chair that I was sitting in and dragged me across the room to the door and sat me outside.
Outside? Yeah. Like outside in the cold?
Yes.
And this was the day before Christmas break.
And then what happens?
I just decided to leave.
Their story made the local news in Sacramento.
A 2nd grade girl walked away from her Natoma school and no one knew where she was for more than 2 hours.
You were near a freeway. In the documentary, you say everything could be easier if I just jumped.
Yeah.
You thought about ending your life at the age of 7.
Yes. I was feeling confused and helpless.
Samaya's parents settled a lawsuit against the school and the teacher. The school district issued a statement saying, in part, "We hope that her story and the stories of others will help other districts as it continues to help us." It's stories like Samaya's that pushed educator and author Monique W.
Goddamn, that's a lot.
I want to begin by saying this.
Go ahead.
Okay. I had lined up an excellent guest for the podcast.
You did.
To speak on this subject, a black woman, PhD candidate.
I hope she hears our voices.
Who is studying the effects of urban education on black women for her doctoral thesis. And I just want to say, I ain't gonna call her by name, but I will say LC.
LC,
you on some sucker shit.
This story,
that's all I want to say. You on some sucker shit.
This segment was made for you.
This was made. Yes. It's tailor made. Niggas right in your wheelhouse.
Right.
You on that? So soon you be Dr. Sucker shit pretty soon.
Dr. Sucker. Well played, sir. Well played.
But it's still love. You know, I still got love for you. You on some sucker shit though. This episode you was supposed to come on for, but okay, all right. Don't want to hear your own voice on the podcast. Just don't listen to it.
Yeah,
shit, we'll listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Because right now, the only person that hears his own voice is me, because I'm recording the show. So she would have to hear her own voice.
She ain't got to hear it. Right. She ain't got to hear it. She got to enlighten the rest of us.
Yeah, just enlighten us. I just sit back and listen.
Right. But you know the problem. She getting her PhD through KU. That's probably explain the whole shit right there.
Talk about sucker shit.
And then there's that.
There's the sucker shit right there.
So is Bill Self gonna pay her for her PhD?
Oh shit!
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Whoa!
Too soon?
Full circle.
Comes back.
Yes.
But no, I mean LC, come on the show. I love it when, because like I'm not an educator, but when Joe, when Leighton Labra's on here, other people he's had on that when you had what's her name? Damn it.
Delaney.
When we have educators on here, I just like to sit back and listen to them talk about what they do. I love it. So please,
she would have been an excellent guest. She's very well spoken. She's very knowledgeable.
Yes.
And she's doing research on this topic.
Yeah.
But okay, we'll just have to let the amateurs handle it tonight.
I just say I love it because me and Joe have children. 10 meters has I'm about to say children that he loves. That sounds weird though, but he has
gang of nieces and nephews.
R. Kelly. He has he has little ones that he loves. I don't know how to say that, but we all are invested in the future of our little ones. You know, whether it be family, whether it be of our own making, and it's just please come on the show. That's all I'll say. Please. One thing. We can revisit this topic, and we'll have Lady Lavender on. We'll have two educated black women on to discuss this, and I would just sit back and listen.
Just turn it over and let's listen to y'all gurus out here just imparting wisdom upon us. But back to the meat and potatoes. So, what do you think about the situation?
I mean, we hear these stories, and then I think once again, you see the comments. Like the first comment is in this, and you hear a lot of this too when it gets into the, especially specifically with little black girls, fast tails girls, these girls, whatever. It's never on the educator or the adult or whatever. Just in that situation. Those saying it's because the way black girls talk need to shut all the way up. That's victim blaming. There's no excuse for this, whatever. There is no other side to the story. That is a grown man treating a child like a rag doll, ridiculous. And that is a comment that is about, what was that? How many years ago was that? When that 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
3 years ago, yeah.
When that cop, body slammed that girl in that chair?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While she was still in the chair. I kind of forgot about that story because it's crazy that so much crazy shit happens in this world. You kind of forget about the other crazy shit that happened 2 years ago. And I remember the narrative around that. Well, what did she do? Why didn't she do this? You see the way she was talking to him and this and that. And it's kind of like, huh? Excuse me?
But this was a resource officer.
A resource officer. Also, I mean, if I remember
and
correctly,
a grown ass man.
Yeah, absolutely. But if I remember correctly, he had some other things, I believe other schools, whatever that he worked at, that were kind of, I guess, I hate using that word problematic, but problematic, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, I don't know. It just seems like our little black boys and black girls bear the brunt sometimes when it comes to society and discipline, and it's kind of like we're made to believe, or the narrative is pushed, that they are deserving of some of these punishments.
Well, I really do think they're, in my opinion, they're trying to bring back the 1960s, man, 1950s rather, where, you know, a lot of us were oppressed pretty much back in the, I was about to say the Civil War, at the Civil Rights era, you know, where we're out there marching and protesting off of basic civil rights just to be treated equally, you know, to see us as human beings and not animals and everything. But yet they're bringing back the notion that our African American males and females are just that, pretty much animals. And in my opinion, that is not the case, you know.
Hey, hold on one second. Keep talking. I gotta get my plug in. Hold on.
But yeah, so in the educational systems, we have student resource officers that are probably ex-military or police department, you know, work with the police department and have experience in apprehending criminals, and then some of them, and I'm not going to say all, but I'm going to say some of them, believe that that these juveniles are more or less criminals in their mind, in their mindset, in their thinking. And that's where we get the problem of the mistreatment of these African American kids. In my opinion. Go ahead.
And I will say, don't get me wrong. I mean, as you know, we're a friend of educator here on this show, and I have friends who are education off the show. Don't get me wrong. There is a certain level or need of, in some areas, security or protection for even the educators. And also
right. I agree with that. I agree with that.
But there also needs to be a level of, to me, a level of education for those who are now tasked with protecting either the educator and also the teachers, because you can't just, and like you said, a lot of times it's like they say we need security or a resource officer, so you put someone in there who has no education as far as the background, as far as just like minor, just like psychology, how to approach situations as far as like de-escalation. But what happens is, especially you saw that video with that little girl, when that man came in that room, in that specifically in that instance, he wasn't there to de-escalate. He was there to show dominance and power, which is something that it can be very, you know, in joke and probably attest to this. I mean, I've never been an educator, but my time as a peer counselor, there are people, certain people who will be in the room that you would just say, you need to leave because you're not making this better. We're here to de-escalate. We're here to bring this young woman or man down from this position that they're in.
Well, I mean, and you know, the SROs, that's one thing, and that was a very ugly situation. Yeah. And several people remember that. She was sitting in a student desk. Brother picked up the entire desk and slammed the girl to the floor.
Yeah.
Right.
In the desk. It was a very ugly situation. But the situation they just talked about with the girl who they're interviewing, it's a 7-year-old child.
Seven.
Was dragged out the building by the teacher.
Yeah.
And just left out there.
Sat outside in the cold on the day before Christmas break.
Right.
To the point where she decided to just get up and walk home. 7-year-old deciding to get up and walk home, left to navigate highways where she contemplated suicide.
So I ask you, brother, because you also being an educator.
Yeah.
And you have children.
I have female children. Yes, I do. I mean, they're in schools.
So you.
Black female children in
so
schools.
I ask you because you are a person who says I can put myself in this educator's shoes, and I have black daughters who go to public schools. What say you? How do you roll up and approach that situation? If this is you, Brother Joe, who was like, "Where the fuck is my daughter? I haven't seen her in hours." Oh, I put her outside.
Oh man, somebody got to die.
Somebody got to die.
Damn, we thinking the same way. And I don't have kids.
Somebody gonna die tonight. Oh shit.
Yeah.
So I just want to take this moment to pause real quick because I'm feeling a little proud papa moment. My little 6-year-old just read to me pages out of Green Eggs and Ham.
Oh, that's awesome.
Today, that was my first time seeing that, so I was
golf claps.
Proud papa moment. Proud papa moment. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Salute, my G. Salute.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, anyway, man, I've experienced this, and I think I've been an advocate for both my daughters because they have gone to predominantly white schools, even in the urban core of Kansas City. And I felt like there have been several times where they've been targeted. When we came through the school, you know, the black parents who came before us warned us, watch out because they target black students. I mean, I think it's real. I think it's definitely something that we need to be vigilant about and make sure that we're protecting our daughters because they don't see our daughters as human beings in some cases. They you know how we sexualize black women, we you know marginalize them.
Yeah, we do.
Dude, I mean, there's nothing like a motivated black woman. You know what I'm saying? They are a force of nature. I'm telling you. And so the problem, and I've said this before, our teaching staff needs to look like our population.
I don't know. I don't know what episode it was, but we
tackled that, and I think we all agree.
I just thought about that because that's the situation I live in. But what about people like your daughter, Roger, who go to a suburban school?
Yeah.
Where the teachers might look like the population, but the student doesn't look like the rest of the population. You know.
No.
And what do we do about those children? That's a paradigm that I'm. Really not sure about.
My twins who are now back at in that same high school, which is the other side of it, where we I think over sexualize young black females. Black males are not so much sexualization, but this they are almost embedded with hypermasculinity. I don't know. They are thought to be men, even though they're 14 and 15. They're little boys. They are perceived as the threat. There have been instances where I've had to go to the school where little white boys who were also, and my boys were wrong, you know what I'm saying, but they were going to be punished more severely than the same white peer who was taking part in these acts. And I'm like, no, that's not going to fucking happen. This little white boy did this, slapped my son on the back of the head, and then my son slapped him on the back of the head. I get that y'all have a no tolerance policy, but I'd be damned if my son going to be sitting in school suspension by himself.
All right.
And they were playing. I get it. But you got, you're an educator. You got to kind of nip certain things in the bud because they can get out of hand. I understand that. I said, yeah, my son was wrong. He was playing too much. He talked about that. But why is he the only kid being disciplined?
Right.
So I mean, and you have to understand that people are human. People make mistakes.
Yeah, they do. But it's happened.
At the same time,
more than once, Joe.
When we take it to the level where we slamming children in desks.
Yeah.
That child was probably out of pocket, and I dealt with children that are out of pocket. But at no point should this young lady have been picked up by the desk and slammed down to the floor by the SR. At no point should a 7-year-old be left we talked about chain of custody before.
No, you didn't.
Ain't no way a 7-year-old should be left outside the building unattended for.
Nope.
I don't care what the temperature is outside. Ain't no way they supposed to be outside of the building, not even outside the classroom.
All right.
Without being supervised, because we don't know what can happen to them in those situations. You're not treating that person like a human being.
No.
That's how I treat my dog.
Mm-hmm. So even if
I put my dog out there.
I'm about to say, Joe,
You know what I'm
there are some people out there that think
and some teachers do view us, like I said
I'm not
before, that
no, I'm not even saying it's I'm saying there are people out there that use their dogs. I just whatever. Michael Vick. That's all I gotta say. But anyway, but back to you.
So that same teacher probably a member of PETA, isn't she?
Probably.
I'm put this little nigga girl outside, but let me put a sweater on my dog.
Exactly.
I've had discussions with people who were like, "Oh, I don't have children, but I have a dog," and I'm like, "Fuck that mean?"
Yeah,
it's the same,
fucking
man.
Fur babies and shit. What the fuck? Get out of here,
man.
It's not a baby,
man.
That's a pet.
Back when I was doing my clinicals in Raleigh, and this lady was like, "You want to see my grandchildren?" I was like, "Oh."
I showed pictures of a fucking dog.
No, nigga, it was pigs, nigga.
That's even worse.
Nigga, I almost slapped that phone out of her hand.
Her grandchildren were on the police force?
Oh.
Not them pigs,
Take
man.
a knee. Take a knee. Take a knee. Let me close these blinds for I get like strange flashlights in my motherfucking window, nigga.
Right.
Oh
He had
shit.
a gun in his hand. Oh, this is a fucking bottle of water, nigga. But yeah, man.
Right.
But it is. But I mean, but it always comes back to what we talked about, especially you when we had the episode where the soldier was on, and we talked about at that point in time specifically because the article we pulled up, black male representation in these school districts, but just across the board, I mean, not just black, but brown people also, whatever that may be, Indian, Mexican, Latino, whatever. Classrooms with teachers that mirror that population, very important, very important. I think that because even though Ruskin was when I was there was hit over the head with hammers and fights and shit, I still I don't know if it's like safer, but I felt my teachers cared. And true, for the most part, there were more white teachers there, but there were black teachers, brown teachers there also. When I was at Blue Valley North, like really, I think the only reason like most of them cared about me because I was a decent athlete.
Right.
It had nothing to do with the fact that they can care less about my grades, or what's going on in the classroom, or whether I'm having a bad day because my fucking dad has cancer or whatever the fuck. They just want to make sure I can dunk the ball real well. That was pretty much it. But at Ruskin, I really felt like the coaches who were brown and black, and the teachers who were brown and black, they like, hey, you got to stop fucking around in the classroom. You're a smart kid. You can do well. You can do things outside of the sports as long as you stick to it. Stop fucking around.
And that's the thing about the teachers that the brown teachers. They are more sympathetic to how you behave, like in society, versus the non-brown teachers are, because like in my own personal experience, the teachers that I came through the education system with, they always looked out for my well-being as well as my education. They make sure that not only was I okay, but were my grades okay? Will they suffer? They wanted to see me to do well, do well in, not only in school, but, in society. So as far as, in my opinion, teachers that are like me should be or should have that influence on kids that are like them, yeah, in my opinion.
And I also want to say, don't get me wrong, there are some good, great white
outstanding
teachers out there.
Outstanding white teachers.
No doubt. I know too.
Completely capable of empathy. I just think that people from the same community, who have family members who themselves have experienced the same things, are more predisposed to empathy.
Exactly.
And so, they're excellent white teachers. So, never get that twisted. No
doubt.
But at the same time, I just think that representation matters.
Right.
It does.
I do too.
It does. It does.
Yep.
Hey, so
maybe they won't. Maybe they won't drag out the 7-year-old child. Maybe they call mama before they drag the 7-year-old child out.
Shit, well, half the time they be like, I know your mama.
By the highway.
Hey, but half the time they're like, I know your mama, right? Oh, what?
Oh, man. Let me tell you, look, the teachers in my hallway, they call your mama because they went to school with your mama.
Bro.
Exactly. They go to church with your mama. They know your mama from church. They come on, man.
Hey, bro, my mama was the homeschool coordinator for the CSD #1 district. So she was the one that basically said whether or not you could go to. Back then, when people wanted to go to Hickman Mills or Ruskin, they were still pretty good school districts, still schools then. So she was the one that said, "Yeah, you live within the district or you don't." Nigga, my mama wasn't nothing but a button away from the principal, vice principal's office, dog. She just booed up. You want to call your mama? And everybody knew that my mom was the homeschool coordinator, dog. It wasn't, no. I didn't want no smoke. I didn't want no smoke. I was trying to, hey, bro, I'm just trying to go home. I was trying to go home and not get fucked up before I get home.
Man.
Hey, my mom was part of the school district, nigga. I was like, oh, God.
Nigga.
Yeah.
Shit. You get home, you get that call from school, shit. That you cutting up, shit.
You know how they mail your grade cards to the house? They just take it to your office, nigga.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, man. I mean, so basically what I get out of this is vote and still more black teachers.
Yeah, we definitely.
But where y'all at? But where y'all at though?
Who?
True.
The black teachers, man. They don't go to school for that, man. People don't do it. What are we doing?
Negro. Well,
we make the plea for more black teachers all the time.
But
somebody got to step the fuck up and enroll in classes.
But
what?
Talked about
you're absolutely right.
I think it goes back to a society that doesn't respect what teachers do though. We talked about that on that episode. I still don't understand people who say for however many months out of the year, for how many hours out of the day, I give you the thing that, for me, I give you the thing that means the most, that I love the most in this world, which is my child, but I don't respect your profession. And to me, that is so confusing.
True. I agree with you, Storm.
Just like when I hear people and yeah, I get it, but and I tell people also, yeah, when you hear the news stories, you're hearing, we either hear the worst of or the best of. We don't hear about the person that just wants to go in, give a child the education that they have given, whether you be a history teacher, sociology teacher, psychiatrist, or just I don't want to say regular, or you just a grade school teacher, wherever you are. We don't hear those stories. You don't hear the worst of or the best of. But even the person that's that middle ground that clocks in every day and gives your child everything that you can't give them because you're at work deserves to be respected and paid.
Right.
They ain't gotta be rich, but they definitely shouldn't be struggling.
But what I'm asking is, yeah, we could definitely do better, and I think if we got paid better and respected more, I think there'd be more people willing to join the profession. But I'm saying I feel like we get paid better than some of these professions get.
But I'm saying,
why are people not stepping the fuck up and saying I'm gonna do it? Raise your hand and say I'm participating in the process. Because I'm gonna uplift the children. I don't know.
Because I'm saying it goes back to what you see on TV. Because what we see on TV is you see like with the Chicago school district where they just got done having a sit out or a strike. So I think you see the worst of it. So I think people just go, well, teachers are underpaid. Well, all I hear about is teachers having to buy their own supplies. Teachers having to do this, and school districts not being funded. And then we got to ask the president that has a fucking the Department of Education who's ran by this crazy ass white bitch. Yeah, crazy ass white bitch. So all you hear is these bad stories. But we have you here, and we have you here. If Jerome ever
crazy,
on the show,
let's say crazy ass white bitch with a bachelor's degree.
With a bachelor's degree,
nigga, she read education across the whole country. She got a bachelor's degree,
and she rich as fuck.
Fuck out of here.
I should say her family's rich as fuck. I should say her family.
Right, nigga, she got a fucking bachelor's degree. I don't give a fuck how she rich. She got a bachelor's.
Yeah, but I'm saying, nigga, we have you.
Nigga,
we have you on here, but they're, like nationally. Like, if you could ever get in front of a mic, and I told you, like, no, nigga, you could run for fucking council. I will vote for you, nigga. It's like, but we have brothers like you, brothers like my friend Jerome, if he ever come on the fucking show, who could tell the story of, and even Leighton Lavender, who is a former educator who now teaches people who want to go in education that, no, you won't get rich, but you will be able to eat. You will be able to do things. It's not about, but if that's your main purpose as far as getting paid, then that might be a problem too. But so then we fall back to the aspect of it's just, I think it's a respect thing. But as you also said, Joe, on the show when the soldier was on, brown and black children are only seeing, for the most part, white educators, and sometimes that experience ain't the best.
Right. I agree with that.
No, I mean not all the time. Because obviously, obviously there are brown, brown black folks who go to education, so it is a good experience. But like when we went to, I don't know, Lady Labradore's get together for her company, I won't say the name. The majority of the people who were there to be coming on board to learn to be teachers, they were mostly young white people.
Right.
That was the majority of people in that house.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's so unfortunate because there are very good opportunities for what I think is African American teachers to come in and educate, students that look like them. There's perfect opportunity, not only, in your field, Joe, history, but, in science as well, mathematics and things like that. But I think the monetary aspects of becoming an educator is what kind of deters us from pursuing that avenue.
That ain't it, nigga. We make solid money.
I think
don't look into that. We may not, I might not make as much as somebody who is similarly educated to me in other professions, but I make more than other people.
Yep.
So I know I make more than social workers, I'm sure.
Well,
yeah, but what deters people from coming to this job is dealing with these kids. They don't want to deal with the little 7-year-old girl who had an opinion and has not been socialized the way that she's been socialized, and thinks that we gotta treat these people as subhuman. They don't want to have to deal with these scenarios. I have to deal with these situations on a regular basis. What you have to do is you have to build relationships.
Yeah,
and it helps to be seen as one of them from time to time. Sometimes you let your guard down and you laugh with them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you let your guard down, or you take a step back. And I had a child allegedly try to commit suicide in my class this week.
Oh shit!
Allegedly.
Damn.
The young lady was drinking a concoction of ink and water.
Yeah.
Out of a deli cup right before class, during class, something like that. It was in the classroom.
Oh my God, man!
You gotta step back. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. I don't know. But you have.
I don't know how you handle that.
You pass it on to the people who know better than me. You document it. But what I'm saying is, I've tried to have conversations with this young lady. You know what I'm saying? And other people like her and let them know that they are valued. You know what I'm saying? We understand that, hey, it seems insurmountable at this point. But you have to understand that you have a support system. It may not feel like it every day, but there are people who love you. You know what I'm saying? Your teachers love you. You got fellow students who love you, and we want to see you do well.
Right.
That paradigm you were talking about, Anthony. You know what I'm saying? And Roger was saying about the people at Ruskin. You know what I'm saying? The people who look like these students want to see them doing well. And to be real honest with you, yes, there are white teachers who have empathy. They may not come from the same backgrounds, but they have empathy. They see the humanity in these people, and they want to see them do well as well.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that. Yes. I agree with that. Yeah.
Right. So what I was suggesting, I forgot because the interjection threw me the fuck off.
You drunk, man.
You on that gym?
Nigga, you drunk.
You on that gym?
I know I'm drunk. Shit.
Oh, I know. Andy drunk. That nigga started all. That nigga just started all his words.
I just want you to know right now that I agree with the fuck what you just said.
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay.
All right.
Anthony got a list. You know he drunk.
Fuck you.
Hey, stop. Listen now.
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
Hey,
what the fuck I was talking about, man? Look, hey, man. Okay. We need support. We need support. I was talking about that we need to have people who can empathize with these children and understand they're going through situations. Everybody has stuff going on. And we cannot, say, hey, this person is not meeting the cookie cutter of my expectations.
Right.
Therefore, they need to be discarded. We need to have people who can speak. You should be not teaching a subject. Like, for instance, I don't teach history. I shouldn't be teaching math. I shouldn't be teaching science. I should be teaching students.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? See?
I agree with that. Yeah.
I should be teaching students, and I'm gonna teach students through the vehicle of history. But we need to see the humanity in these children, black, female, versus Asian male, or whatever concoction we can come up with. We need to see the humanity in them, and we need to treat them as human beings, and not send 7-year-olds out in the cold day before Christmas break to go jump on the highway.
Yeah, and I hate to play the race card with this, but to me, in my opinion, the only person that could really handle that job is the black male, man.
The black male?
It's the black male teacher.
I would say women too.
We talking about black females, but
black females black females too, but mostly I would think it's the black male because to me they more empathize with students than the female does. I'm not saying that they don't. I just say that they.
I'm gonna oblige you to say black women or women. I don't want nobody calling me. You keep saying females, nigga.
I'm sorry, black women. But I do, in my opinion, that the better reach for all students is the black man.
I would caution
male teacher.
If you're talking about representation in someone that looks like you, and dealing with, in the case of what we just talked about, if you want black women to come to education, how does that happen if the only person they see is a black man?
I would say black women are much better represented in education than black men are.
Oh, they are. I mean, they are. But I would just address the fact
I do understand that women can kind of be confrontational with each other.
Yeah,
exactly.
I've got plenty of black women in my hallway. I think there's some excellent teachers. I watch the relationships they build with these students, and they can talk. They can talk to the children. Again, they're teaching students. Yeah. And instead of their subject area, and so I think I applaud that every time I see it. As a black male teacher, I think I do at times find myself a little bit more finding more empathy for black females than I do for black males.
Okay.
I do feel like at times I'm a little bit harder on black men than I'm on black women, and maybe that's because I understand the expectations that black men have.
Right.
And I understand that the actions that black men are taking are going to lead them to ruin if they don't correct those. So they need to be told, and they need to be told directly to correct that situation. If you ain't had a father in your life, I'll be there for this time moment, and I'm gonna speak to you like your father and let you know that's unacceptable. This is the situation, and this is the consequence. These are the ripple effects of that action if you don't correct that. So maybe that's subconsciously a part of it. I do find myself, I be getting, I got the black daughters too. So, I be wrapped around parties.
So I guess my bigger point was I think both are needed. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
Both are needed. Cause like you saying, like there might be black men who have a young black men in your school who have limited visibility as far as like positive black males. Might be what you may bring. There might be little girls who are not seeing it for whatever reason. That positive. They may have a mother in their life, but it might not be positive. So they come there. Mrs. Jenkins, whoever the fuck, may be the one person who they come to school for because she is giving them love and attention that they're not getting at home from their mother. So I think both are needed. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And then representation does matter. I didn't want to interrupt either one of y'all. Y'all making good points. Jerome, who will come on the show one day, I swear. I mean, even in the home, his father, who was retired from GM and then went into education, is the big reason why Jerome is now a vice principal out in Kansas City, Kansas. It all matters.
Did that nigga Anthony just go to the toilet, man?
I don't know what's happening. I don't know if he just dumped out his velocity bag. I don't know what's going on.
Did he fall in, nigga? What we doing, man?
Anthony, did you just take a shit?
And Anthony, you put your dick out in the middle of the podcast?
No, I had to go to the bathroom, man.
Yeah, so you just...
We know. We were well aware.
We heard the toilet flush.
Nigga, there's a little thing called a mute button, nigga.
My bad.
As they say, if you can hum, you can hear it, nigga.
You can hum, you can hear it.
God damn it!
So back to my
I didn't know this mic was that damn fucking strong, dog.
I missed the days of the fucking crickling chair, nigga.
I'm just glad we didn't hear you pissing, nigga. We just heard this.
Now we got this nigga pulling his dick out on the podcast.
Goddamn. Oh, R. Kelly ass, mystical ass.
My fucking bad. I had to go.
I came with my dick in my hand. Don't let me.
Foot in your ass.
Be cool.
Okay. My bad. I'm sorry.
I just hate the whole show just came full circle right now. Anyway.
Yeah. There it goes.
There it goes. Anyway, as I was saying, Jerome on the show, his daddy definitely influenced him. Even though he wasn't, and you talk about not having representation. So Jerome went to St. Thomas Aquinas. So us three people on here know the makeup of that school,
right?
Mm-hmm.
He was like me at Blue Valley North in 1995, all by myself. You know what I'm saying? As far as not only teachers, but also student body. Right. And now he is specifically, he wanted to go to Kansas City, Kansas, and teach and educate because he wanted the representation for kids to see, like, hey, you can do this, and you can make a difference within your community. Well, he moved out there because he was, long story short, he wanted to make a difference in his community he was living in at that time, which is Kansas City, Kansas.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man, it very important. Like I said, we talk about whether it be female, male, but brown and black bodies in the classroom are very important.
Yeah.
Because
I do agree with that.
Whether it be male or female, I definitely would want to believe, we will never know for sure. It's fucking Minority Report. I don't know. I caught the ball doesn't mean it wouldn't hit the floor. I don't know whether they were point they were trying to make, but I definitely believe more brown or black people in that classroom. There's not black women getting or black young girls getting slammed while they sit inside a desk, and it's definitely not 7-year-old black babies being put outside a classroom in the cold.
All right. Exactly.
That's where I'm at with that.
You taking your meds now, nigga? What are you doing now?
I'm on the podcast. What are you talking about? I'm not doing anything.
This shit popping.
I don't know.
That
shit. Maybe it's the airwaves.
Were you scratching your skin? You got that Wally skin?
Nigga,
hell no! I put lotion on my shit. Huh?
Yeah, you're taking his Prevacid.
Nigga, no, I'm not doing anything. Damn, I swear I'm not.
Taking that Viagra. He's like, I'm about to jack off all night.
He thinking about Colorado. He getting ready.
I get ready.
Well, I tell you, nothing's going to happen.
Hey, ESPN.
Hey.
Deontay Wilder just knocked out your boy.
Oh shit! See,
one hit a quitter in the seventh. So
God damn it!
There we go. I mean, like I said, I'm not a big boxing fan, but I like watching boxing with people.
That's what I'm talking about. We talking about the road.
We need to have a fight night.
We need to have fight night, man.
We have fight night podcasting.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. It happened.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are. We talked about things we want to talk about, and then some.
Okay.
Anything else? I think we've all come to the same agreement that Fat Nixon ain't shit.
Right.
Raiders need to stay alive for at least a couple more. Next year.
Hey, can we come to a consensus on this?
What's up?
What's that?
That Anthony need to keep his dick in his pants during the podcast.
Y'all motherfuckers act like I'm watching porn during the podcast.
Hold on. Now, you flushed the toilet, but did you wash your hands?
Yeah, I washed my damn hands. Shit, I wouldn't touch my.
Look, I heard flush. I didn't hear running water.
Because I washed my hands. I work in health.
Hey,
dirty dick microphone.
We gonna have to Zapruder this shit.
Oh, nigga. I wash my hands because I work in fucking healthcare.
If you wash your hands, it's like 10 seconds, nigga.
No, it wasn't that damn. No, it wasn't that short.
You still got dick cells on your hand, nigga.
That water was hot, man.
You weren't killing no bacteria, nigga.
Fuck y'all.
Oh, dirty dick nigga. Look out.
They say dirty dick nigga. God damn it.
Dick.
No, I wash my hands, man. It smell like fucking coconut. I got coconut soap.
It smell like nut. Yeah. It smell like nut, nigga. I don't know about coconut. I don't know about the cocoa part of it, nigga.
These two niggas here. Boy, these two damn niggas here.
Like dried up baby powder, nigga. Hold up.
What do you call that nigga? No more 10 meters. This nigga's name is DD from here on out. Dirty Dick.
God damn it.
Dirty Dick. Dirty Dick Anthony.
Shit. Motherfucker.
Dirty Dick Diddler.
I don't diddle,
Triple
man.
D, Dirty Dick Diddler. Triple D.
Oh shit.
That's his superpower. He just give you a bad cold because his dirty dick hands on your mouth. It's okay.
It's crazy.
I'm just saying. Just keep your dick in your pants on the podcast.
Please. For the children.
What about the children?
Mm-hmm. The children, all right.
We talking about abusive black girls on the podcast, and you got your dick in your hand. Come on, man.
Oh, now y'all calling me R. Kelly? God damn it.
Not Jeffrey Epstein.
Robert?
It's not Jeffrey Epstein, but Jaquez Epstein, nigga.
What, my middle name is Robert now, niggas? Oh, shit.
What they say, you live long enough to be the bad guy, nigga.
Oh, dirty dick diddling ass.
Oh, shit. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's go.
All right.
The Triple D podcast.
Triple D podcast.
No, man. Fuck that.
Brought to you by niggas who don't have no soap in their bathrooms.
got soap in my shit. Yeah. I keep soap in my pocket.
Hands come out smell like ammonia, nigga.
It's like.
God damn it. Oh, man.
All right. I think the boy is starting to wake up, so I'm about to get out of here. The Triple D podcast.
There we go. There go the rabbit hole. Ladies and gentlemen, we have traveled down the rabbit hole, if you haven't noticed. Oh, shit.
Triple D. Brought to you by niggas who don't tell you it worked out before you go down on them.
Oh, shit. All right.
Oh, man. I knew we would come up something for the last segment, nigga. I knew we would.
It was coming. We waited. It was shit. Just wait, man. It'll hit you.
Oh, man.
Triple D podcast. Brought to you by niggas who wash their face with the same rag they nutted in.
Not who wash their face with the same rag they wash their ass with, man. Oh.
Nigga, what's that on your face, blue? You know how you used to put glue on your head and let that shit dry and peel it off?
Yeah, nigga.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
Stop it.
Triple D podcast. Brought to you by niggas who wipe their ass towards their balls.
Oh, man.
Oh, back to front ass niggas.
Oh, man. Yeah, shit, man. Shit.
Triple D podcast brought to you by niggas who do A than B.
Oh, damn. All right, man.
Okay.
All right. Oh, shit.
You're not gonna wash your dick? No, I'm just gonna put it in, girl.
Go ahead, we going in.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Okay. I'm done. I think I'm done. I'm done. Shit. Okay. I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. Shit. Oh, God. Maybe it was good that your friend didn't get on, Joe.
It might be. It might be.
It should not have ended well. I don't know. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right, man.
All right.
Thank you, bros, getting on. Points have, as Joe Jefferson say, points have been made.
Yeah.
Triple B podcast, Brothers Breaking Bread. Never, ever miss a moment to break bread with your brothers. And we out.
We out.
God damn it.
break bread with your brothers whenever possible.